Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Drop Frames. Co, what episode are we on?
25,624.
Nice, nice. Been at it for a couple of years, obviously.
Actually, a few decades.
A few decades now. That's true. Yeah, we're one of the oldest. We're actually the first podcast ever created. Yeah,
We were analog.
we were. We
Yeah.
were. Yeah, we used to just
I mean, if
talk.
we've been doing it for the last couple of years, that means we've been doing like 3 shows a day, like every day.
Yeah, sometimes
For
you
a
guys
while
just
now.
start talking, and then I'm like, I'm just going to start recording, and then we make that an
Podcast
episode.
time.
Yeah, it's podcast time. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. There's stuff going on. Video games are coming out. We're in the thick of it. Borderlands is on the. It's out for some people. It's not out for others. The embargo's all sorts of fucked up.
Yeah, what the fuck is the deal? What is the fucking deal here? I want to know. Someone tell me what's going on.
I couldn't begin to tell you. I think that there's 4 different embargo times, and then the game's out tomorrow on PC for everyone at 7 p.m.
It is a wave-based embargo, and with different preferential treatment to different people, as
Yeah.
most embargoes do.
Mhm.
And it has definitely caused a little bit of confusion, but it seems to be doing what it needs to do.
Yeah. Making
Back in
people
my
upset.
day, they make a game and they put it out. It was out. It was out when it was out, and then it wasn't when it wasn't. It had one release date, no beta, no alpha.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
You got it in a box. you got to hold it in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you
And
get
you gotta
given.
make sure to be careful with it, not to scratch it, because they were scratching. They were easy to scratch,
Yeah,
and then you were fucked.
it's true. See, now
Unless
Zeke.
you had one of those little cleaners with the little thing you could put it in.
I had one of those. I had one of
Oh
those.
God,
like,
so did I. They used to
hard
sell those at
crank.
Blockbuster. So when you would rent the game and it would run
Yeah.
like shit, they would run it through there real quick. Be like, try it now. I don't know if it's gonna work. Here you
God,
go.
we're
Good luck.
old.
Yeah, that's old. Yeah, Zeke.
Meanwhile, there are people most likely watching us right now that have never physically touched a CD.
I believe that. Yeah, I believe that. It's accurate.
dude. Like once it became viable to never ever have to have a hard copy again, I don't think I've bought like a physical copy of a game, unless it was like a retro thing, because you have to, you know. Oh well, I mean, more and more you don't, but like, I don't know, like if I've bought like the last 5 years.
I
4
buy
years?
collector's
Not physical
editions,
copy?
but like the CD or whatever just remains in the collector's edition, and then I just buy the digital version because I don't want
Me
to
too.
get that.
I'm the same way. Like when I get a collector's edition, the game is the absolute last thing I'm getting it for.
Yeah,
It's never what I'm getting it for. I end up throwing away a lot of those sometimes. Like I'll open the thing and it'll be like, oh, cool, a code. Well, all right, well, let me go put my statue on my.
yeah. I'm actually excited when you open up the jewel CD case and there's like a little insert that has the code on it rather than the physical disc, because that means that I can just get it digitally and redeem it digitally. So, but yeah, Zeke. Now all the rage is you don't even get to get a code for Borderlands 3. You're given an account to log into. You don't even get to own it. Also, that's not behind embargo. That's out there, code. Stop messaging me on Slack.
I'm sitting here like,
You don't even like. It's not even on our account, and hopefully the saves transfer over. You got to take the gamble. So, yeah, it's pretty good.
they are being very protective. It's clearly it's like they're making sure that the exact version goes to the exact people. Everything can be tracked, even though it is a very complicated embargo thing that they're doing. I will say that they are managing it pretty well for the complication. Like
Yeah.
I'm surprised with as many moving parts that it is all is working like it is. Because when I first read it, when I looked at everything, I was like, oh god, this is gonna be a mess. But I mean, here we are, and like it's actually going pretty well. That being said, though, there's a lot of Twitch industry vets that are helping them with this, like
Sure.
Bar Snack. Like there's a lot of people that the Twitch community is familiar with that is helping them do all this. So I got to admit, it's really nice that we're finally moving into a day and age where companies are actually hiring the people that understand how Twitch functions, and then those people are the ones that are creating the systems, delegating the access, because they actually get what we're doing.
Yeah.
And when I first started on this, there were people that we would interface with that wouldn't even know what Twitch was. Like they like I'll never forget one of my first deals. The woman got Twitch and YouTube confused. So after my stream, she was asking for a link to the video, and we linked her the VOD, and she goes, what is this? Like, no, I want it on YouTube. And I was like, I didn't even have a YouTube at the time. I was
Yeah.
like,
Things have definitely changed. Things have changed so much that they don't even give codes to reviewers anymore. They just worry about the content creators and the people that might review the game favorably to get that. That's maybe too conspiracy
Yeah.
theory, but yeah. That was
There's-
kind of weird, giving it to
Yeah.
people that like Borderlands so you can get that Metacritic boost on day one and not to other people. I don't know.
it's interesting.
Yeah. It's a weird tactic.
Also, there's a few outlets that are being pretty vocal about the fact that they're pretty sure that the reason they're not getting keys is because they've said things about Randy in the past. And it's kind of like, I really, really hope there's other reasons than that.
Yeah.
Like I'm guessing that there's probably a lot more reasons than that, but I just really hope there is.
Yeah.
So
So
are you
weird.
saying that if I was like really adamant about like, man, I'm gonna love this game no matter what. I'm going to make sure to tell everybody about it and positively, and it's just gonna be the best game ever. Free stuff, please.
Well, here's the thing, though. We've been pretty even keel, I think, about it on the show in the past, but we still got access to it.
Not
So
only that,
I don't think he watches the show. Is ultimately.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that many of the people I'm interfacing with do watch our show. And in
Okay.
fact, one of the people that interfaced with me when they gave me my access was like, by the way, we always appreciate your honest opinions. Please don't hesitate to keep them coming.
Huh.
And I was like, dude, respect. Like, because I have definitely, as people know, like I'm the guy that kind of like, I like Borderlands, but I've never loved it. And like, I'm pretty overt about that. Like, it's just more Borderlands. That's all I need. You know, it's not going to be my game of the year, but I'm still going to have fun playing it. And they've apparently been like totally cool with that. I'm certainly not going out there and singing the praises. I've had my discussions on Epic Store as well. So it's
Weird.
like, yeah, I mean, they seem to be pretty good with the genuine feelings. So
Because that was the exact same thing that reviewers said they didn't get keys for. So I don't know. It's man, what a weird thing. The whole thing's just.
Yeah,
fucking weird.
I'm looking through my emails here, and I don't have a fucking anything from Borderlands. Like, so I'm wondering if they actually do watch the show, or they just like Yuko. I mean, because I'm looking for the offer of like early access, embargo, like I've been keyword searching my Gmail
now,
for a while now.
to be fair, in the email they did send me, they actually specifically asked me to make sure that I didn't tell you, and they also requested if I could stop associating with you. But I said, you're
fair.
not paying.
That's
me
gonna be
that
tough
much.
to do. Yeah.
That's fair.
So-
That's fair.
Yeah.
Actually, they're not paying me anything. But
Yeah, I was like, huh. So now we're talking about it. Anyways, yeah. So that's a weird thing. I could stream the game after the show today because I think there's another embargo wave that unlocks at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is in an hour and 50 minutes.
that's what I'm into.
But we can only go up to today we can only go up to a certain part of the main story, but tomorrow we have free reign, and then Friday those accounts are like deactivated, and hopefully the
Then we
save
roll over to
transfers.
retail.
Yeah.
And theoretically, everything we have should transfer over. We have been warned that there is a chance that may be outside of their control due to some epic
Yeah.
limitations that may not allow saves to transfer properly. But worst case, we're all playing for more Borderlands anyway, so it's just more Borderlands.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Okay.
I guess we'll see how that goes. This is less Borderlands and more just like crazy stuff that has happened. Did you guys see? Chat, you're gonna have to help me with what his title was at Gearbox. But there is an employee at Gearbox that now works for the NRA, and that's kind of a crazy. He's an ex-lawyer. Is that what it is, chat? That's just insane to think about. A guy that was involved with a game company that was about guns, and more guns now works for the fucking NRA. It's a little.
I'm surprised they aren't recruiting from Gearbox, honestly.
They made a gun that shoots guns, and the NRA is like, "Get me that man. We need him."
I can just imagine, like the first time somebody at the NRA saw that, like, we have guns that shoot guns, and it's just like, oh, raging boner. Oh God, I didn't even know. Oh God,
Yeah.
I can only get so erect.
calm down, calm down.
For those North American viewers, the NRA is the National Rifle Association, which is a big like gun thing here in the U.S. And it's It's very political. I don't want to get into that aspect of it.
Yeah.
I don't want Chats to get into that
was gonna
aspect
say,
of it. But you can
it's an
Google it very
organization.
easily.
The NRA is a political organization
Yes.
that likes guns.
Yes.
That's essentially
very
what it is.
true.
And it's
Yeah.
all about the Second Amendment rights here in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
If you
these
want to
these
go
days, it is a
to-
political organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go to a party here in the States and you want to bring it to a screeching halt, all you have to do is say NRA or Planned Parenthood, and everybody's just like,
Yeah, everyone just backs away slowly.
I'm already wanting to get the fuck out of this. Let's make it really uncomfortable.
exactly. Your ears just go, whoa, no.
Jesus. Good Lord.
They nope the fuck out. I do that at parties sometimes, because just for the fun of it, just to see the records scratch. Even though fucking no one plays records anymore, it still happens.
They still scratch. Yeah, the records still scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, then you got to throw in the anti-vaxxing as well. That's the other one. You just throw those all into the same party, Zeke, and everyone's uncomfortable. That's great.
I have a record for you, Zeke.
Oh,
you do? What the fuck? Where'd you get that?
Big thank you to a viewer who sent me this just a few days ago. Thank you to Tezu Kanoku. Apparently, you can get actual vinyl Doki Doki stuff. Pretty awesome.
is that in Japan? Where's that? Where would you even get that?
Where is it from? It's the IM 8-bit guys, the ones that make it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually Dan Salvato is completely related to it.
There you go.
Music composed by Dan Salvato.
Nice. You gotta get it.
Just Monica.
Just Monica.
That's all it is. Every song is just Monica.
Yeah.
Just Monica. Doki Doki.
Jesus. Well, we can take this multiple ways from here after we've blasted Borderlands 3, talked about the NRA, Planned Parenthood, and anti-vaxxers. But I feel let's just go full circle and watch this Final Fantasy VII trailer.
Yeah! Hey, there we go.
It's time to see. Ah! It's so loud.
And
Jesus Christ!
Good Lord.
Okay, JP.
Yes.
JP, I'm
Yes.
going to tell you this right now. I'm going to zoom my fucking camera in to what it's like, what it's on a Court of Swords, and you fucking deal with it.
No, because then, okay. All right. It's
There.
Here's Zeke's idea of going to a show is looking at his camera and thinking, let me just move it this way. And then he moves it a tiny bit every show. So there's constant readjustments. We got to get you a stand and a camera that never moves. So it's the perfect angle. We'll get that shipped to you. We'll get it set up. That'll be great.
Then I wouldn't be me, JP. I wouldn't be me.
Watch your ear holes.
We're good.
Cloud, quickly! Barrett!
Give me a break.
Oh man, this is a lot of
Barrett!
Where you been?
Let's lay down some rubber.
Crank that throttle. Okay, you got it.
Who's that?
A soldier.
Can't say this is quite what I had in mind when I asked for your help way back when.
Feels like we're flying high these days.
Now, more than ever.
He's a keeper, all right.
Yeah.
I'll see myself in. Thanks. And who are you?
Now it's my turn. Hello, Aerith.
What do you want?
Wait a minute. Those eyes.
Corneo's got certain tastes.
Don't be shy, little kitten. Shimmy on over and give Daddy some sugar.
It'll be fine.
Oh, what a
right?
great voice.
After you.
You led us on a merry chase, Aerith.
Attention, Avalanche! Resist and we will use lethal force.
Got your lethal force right here!
In the game!
Oh, awesome.
Look!
President Shinra. Now then, my dear sewer rats. Henceforth allies of wicked Mutai, our sworn enemy.
Mutai! The hell we are!
You still don't understand your role in this.
Oh
That
man,
looks pretty good.
Woo!
That was a good.
It's pretty
trailer.
good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Now, is it
Well, wait
just
a
me or
second.
did they... Oh,
Go ahead.
one more thing.
Oh. Nice. Okay. Cool. That looks pretty good.
Is that after the fire?
That's after they
the
get it
fire?
after the like escape thing on the motorcycle. So after it's fallen, I think that's yeah. Huh? That looks pretty good.
I honestly wasn't a super fan of those little audio lines that kept saying that it didn't really match what we were watching. I
Zeke,
think it would have
if
been better
you do
without
that,
all
then I can't frame it up, Zeke. Sit fucking normal, or you're gonna look like an idiot the entire time. And I can't fix it.
It's like with my fucking dad during the Sears photos. Like, if you keep fucking squirming, son, they're never gonna get the photo right, and we're gonna ruin it. For everybody else's looks great, and yours is gonna be bad. Is that what you want?
It's 100% true.
Dad, I'm sorry.
It's 100% true. Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, that looks good. I'm much like where I am with Cyberpunk. I don't need to see any more of that. In fact, I wish I didn't see the summons there. I don't matter. It doesn't matter to me too much, but I think I'm done watching trailers for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think I'm just good. I'm ready to play the game.
Did they? Okay, I heard they shrunk the boobs, but in that trailer, it looked like the boobs got big. Like they're big again.
I was gonna say the same thing. I feel like
Because I was like, I was actually, that was the one thing I was looking for. I was like, I want to see them titties, and I went, they're fine, they're huge.
Oh my god, I didn't think that, but they definitely didn't look the same size as the first trailer. Maybe is how I'd say that. I don't know. I'm sure there's someone out there doing some high-tech digital foundries out there doing high-tech boob analysis right now on that trailer, and it'll be out in the next couple of minutes.
We need circumference values. We need volume. We need total mass. Potentially, absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure.
I bet they feel like
we're asking
bags
the real
of sand.
questions right now.
Jesus Christ. There's this other trailer. I guess we'll just make a thing of this. Did you guys watch this System Shock 3 thing? It's a minute long. I don't know. Should we watch it? Where is everyone's... I know, okay, Ko's obviously excited for System Shock. I hate scary games. Zeke, where are you at?
I never played System Shock. I never played any of the System Shocks, but I mean, they were like the progenitors of BioShock, so like by the same, like wasn't it by this like the same team who did them?
No.
It's not by the same team.
It was BioShock is a spiritual successor to System
Okay,
Shock.
okay.
It's essentially unrelated.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. It's only a minute long.
Yeah, I'm. Let's do it.
Okay. It's got to go fast.
There is no evil here. Only change. Run, rodent, run. You won't get far. Your species does not, in its current form, work as designed. Yet you resist. Your kind always reacts with violence. Your futile struggles entertain me. Our little dance has only just begun. Now comes the reckoning.
Oh God, that looks good.
Dude,
That looks pretty cool.
Oh man.
dude, that looks. I mean, it looks fucking great. I don't know the story or anything, but that was a great trailer.
Good news for you. So get this. So first of all, System Shock 1 is an old game. We're talking like decades old. What's going on right now is a company is remaking the original System Shock in a new engine. So right now we're getting the original System Shock remade in a game that is not out yet. When that gets close to releasing, they're releasing the remaster of System Shock 2. So we're actually going to get a remake of 1, a remaster of 2, and then 3.
Nice.
Oh, so we can play 1, 2, and 3 like updated versions of them before 3 comes out.
Exactly.
Dude, that sounds fucking awesome. That's super smart. Like, cause I want to do that.
There's probably a lot of people in your scenario, Zeke, that have never touched that game because it only was released on PCs and it was released like 20 plus years ago. Like
System
it's
Shock 1 was
yeah.
The original release date of System Shock 1 was September 23rd, 1994.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an old fucking game. So, but it's also the type of game where every time I went into Babbage's, it was front and center. Like I remember that box. We were talking about physical disc back in the day. I remember that giant System Shock box that had that face of the AI on it. Every time I was in,
And System Shock
EB
was like one of the
Babbage's.
first games that iconically had like not only the rogue AI, but like the seriously disturbing biology element, where basically the AI, who is Shodan, like she basically like takes human pieces and like jams her own machinery into it and makes these like machinations that are nightmare inducing. It's as you saw in some of the System Shock 3 stuff, but both 1 and 2 are they're horrifying games in a lot of ways. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
That'll be good.
I'm sad I missed it. I mean, there's so many. Excuse me. That's why, like, all of these games that were considered classics, over my time at Twitch, I'm trying to go through them because I missed all the PC games between all of the PC games up until like 2007, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, also, as someone pointed out in chat, it's a good point to make. The remake is actually being made by a different company. So the remake is being made by Night Dive Studios. They actually had a successful Kickstarter a few years back. They developed it for about a year. The fan base said, "You are making System Shock 1 too new." So they said, "Oh, okay." And they went back to the base and they rebuilt their engine. And now they're making like the new remake of System Shock 1 that apparently fans are much more eating up. That's Night Dive. And then the remaster, I don't know who's doing that. But then the third one is actually being done by Other Side. And one of the people at Other Side Entertainment is Warren Spector, who was one of the masterminds behind the original Deus Ex.
Yeah.
So yeah, like there's a lot of goodness coming out of 3 and the whole thing. Oh, Night Dive's also doing the remaster. Oh, cool.
There you go.
you go.
That works. There was a Nioh 2 trailer from Tokyo Game Show, but the official video is taken down, and this is the official video, but it's not on like an official YouTube. So should we just risk it and watch it?
Fine with that.
With all this build-up,
I mean, it's up to you more than any of us, JP.
Yeah,
I'm ready to get rickrolled right now.
I guess we'll see what happens. If my YouTube is down later today.
By the way, real quick, I'm sorry, Zeke. System Shock 2 was co-developed by Rational Games with Ken Levine, the maker of BioShock 1.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Ken Levine was involved in 2. I bet there.
俺はトキシロお前のな
Oh, this looks like console capture. Or a re-upload or something.
争いは終わらない。人が人たる限り。それが世の断りなのでしょう。
I haven't seen that guy before.
あなたの身には人の業さえ超える力が秘められているはず。
Dude, this looks so good.
Uh-oh.
Cat lady?
It's a cat girl. A cat girl on wheels. Whoa. What the hell?
If we see tentacles before this is over, I'm done. I'm done.
トキシロの基地秀千代の秀で
That's a big ass fucking thing. Did you see that big ass fucking thing? That's what they're saying. I speak Japanese, so I'll translate.
I did. I saw it.
名は秀
I'm gonna
吉と
kick
せよ
its ass.
Nice.
Neo 2. Oh, that was PS4. Okay. That's why that
Man,
looked-
that was
Yeah.
dude, that I feel this. I feel about Neo 2 how you were just talking earlier about Final Fantasy VII.
I'm
Like
saying
after we played the early access and everything, it's like, dude, completely sold on Neo 2. Like
Sure.
it is more Neo in all the best ways.
Sure. And then last but not least, the most important trailer of our lives. Civilization 6 BR game.
All you scaredy cat goody two shoes with your boo-hoo, the world's ending. Let's get out of here.
Wait, seriously?
Attitudes aren't
Seriously.
taking a minute
I
to
haven't seen
smell
this
the
yet.
roses. Not that. That's a burning city. Some folks are hiding out there. That smoke smells pretty good, too. I mean, you get to run around with your best friends and just plain have a ball.
What is this?
See that? I found that tank in the warlord's camp. I painted those flames myself. Pretty neat, huh? Those guys are mutants. I think they eat people. Great folks. Don't go near them myself. Those guys are pirates.
Is this a mobile game?
Don't drink that water.
That's
Or
the
that
first thing
water.
I thought too.
Or that water. You know what? Let the pirates have the water. Those are the border lords. You know how some people experience a moment of perfect existential freedom when staring into the yawning abyss of destruction
What is
caused
this
by spite and indifference?
voiceover?
I don't know what any of that means. Don't go in the Red Death, by the way. That helicopter's mine too. It goes fast. Those are raiders. They hate everyone. I found a nuke in a supply crate. Imagine just leaving this lying around. It's almost like people don't respect the tools of senseless destruction. Well, not entirely senseless. We're all trying to get to the last surviving place in the world so the last one standing can get onto a lander and fly up to a spaceship that's leaving this planet to go somewhere else. Or, as I like to call it, leaving the party early. Where'd you get that ship anyway? I bet you stole it from those guys. They're scientists. Those are the jocks, and the doomsday preppers, and the wanderers. We like to shoot each other for fun. Those are the cultists. They take their faith very seriously. Gotta respect their commitment. Light bulb! You should just come on down and see the end of the world for yourself. It'll be the best road trip, the last road trip. You drive the tank. I made us snacks. It's jerky. You like jerky. Don't ask where it came from. We're gonna have the best party, the last party ever.
Anyways. Let me see if there's any other trailers that we want to watch.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
There's this one.
I was having a good day.
Yeah, that was, that was weird. That was real weird.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back up.
That doesn't strike me as Civilization at all.
Dude, the thing that's so weird is to
Time
think
a
that
luxury I no longer have.
Search 2?
This is
Humanity
the
is
launch
at a
trailer, yeah.
crossroads.
I haven't seen this yet.
Like withering flowers, we decay little by little.
Hey.
Soon there will be only two choices. Eternal life
Pineapple on pizza.
or oblivion.
It's not a
Oh,
choice.
that.
Oh, is that the Surge event, that nuke going off?
Go get him!
It was a nanite dispersal.
Oh. Is that a dragon?
Oh my god. Dude,
Everyone.
everything I see from that game gives me like tingles. Oh my lord,
shit.
dude.
That was a dragon.
It's like less than 2 weeks. For that,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh dude, it's 24th is when it's
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
That's
That honestly, out of every game this month, that is probably my most hyped by a pretty sizable amount.
Yeah. We could watch the Persona 5 the Royal opening, the
Who
Royale.
would want to watch that trailer at all? Not me. This guy would not like to watch that very much.
All right, it's time to watch this trailer and probably dance.
New song?
There's a lot of new in this. I don't think this is new though. Whoa!
That's some man booty. Oh, I heard there's also a trailer we need to check out. I heard there's this hot new KFC dating game.
Oh, okay. I think this is the new intro to the game. Right? That's what I said? Yeah.
Looks like it.
Okay.
I do not remember hearing this song in the game. Is this a new
I
song?
think it's like a remix.
Yeah, might be a remix.
Is it an all new song? Oh, it's an all new song.
Oh.
We're in a chat.
That's the new character,
The
right?
beginning part is.
Umbrella Girl, go!
Whoa!
What, is that the new girl?
I think so, yeah.
Persona! Mary Poppins! That'd be awesome if a Persona was Mary Poppins. That'd be great. I dig
This
it.
is totally different.
Yeah, there's like a just. Oh, there she is. I was like, there's a distinct lack of Mona in this, and I'm liking it, but they cameoed her at the end.
There you go.
How
That's
can
that.
you not like Mona? Or Gone?
I don't know.
I don't like
know.
people telling me what to do.
Whoa. Whoa. What were you saying we should watch, Code? There's a what? You said we should-
KFC dating simulator.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, I just saw like little little back and forth tweets about that. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Because Devolver even tweeted about it. It's like, it's not like Hatful Boyfriend, even though you think it might be, or something like that.
Here's what's hilarious. I thought that I saw just like a graphic, and I was like, "Oh man, that's funny." They made a little picture, and then like a few tweets later, there was this. I think it's this trailer, dude. The amount of thought that went into this is obscene. All right, let's take a look here.
This is a 30-second thing. It's gonna go fast.
I love you, Colonel Sanders. A finger licking good dating simulator.
I like the time, man. It just writes itself. It's beautiful.
Here we go.
It's like obscenely NSFW. What you just
Hold on,
witnessed
what was
is
that?
known as
Yeah,
It is
what
known
the
as-
fucking thing at the end?
yeah.
It's like anime nightmare. Like, oh
This is-
God.
peak saturation corporate marketing.
Oh, it is.
That's what
yes.
this is.
Yeah.
This is a complete amalgamation of entertainment and straight up advertising.
The real question, though, is it going to be better than the Sneak King game for the Xbox? Did you ever play that? The Burger King game, the Sneak King game?
Dude.
That thing was great.
Oh my God. Working at a pawn shop, like those games were infamous because people would come in and sell them to the pawn shop, and we didn't know like how shitty and how short and how blah blah. We were like, okay, any game will give you this amount for it, no matter how bad it is. But we ended up having like stacks and stacks of like hundreds of Sneak King and Big Bumpin', I think was the name of the other one for Xbox.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Hundreds of these fucking discs, like AOL discs back in the day.
Yeah. The old
Free
Sneak King,
Frisbees.
man. That was a hell of a game. And then for our final trailer that we're going to watch, I know Zeke is like, this one's going to really, Zeke might lose his shit about this. We'll just,
Have I not seen it? Okay.
I don't think you've seen this yet, Zeke.
今の君の心は
Zeke,
もうその時間に存在していた。君の心が過去に戻ったこと自体もともと起きていたことなんだ。
なんだそのキーブレードは。
どうして空と同じ？
まさか。
カイリの心はまだ消えてない。命は消えてないってことだろ。
でも状況はこの間より深刻だよ。
私はこの10年決めていたことがある。ゼアノート、お前をそこから引きずり出してやる。さ
いびつな光の決断に左右されるのは
確かに不幸なことだ。君は力を持つ強者は闇に覆われていく先の世界をどうしたいんだ？
どちらがダメージを受けてもテラが危険だ。ナミネはここから離れてあの海と空だけの世界で待ってて。
空は
Where's all the Disney characters?
Not in the DLC.
I
Remind?
have to
Is
admit,
that the name of
like,
it?
the
Yeah.
thing that's so weird about that trailer is there's a few like new characters and new stuff, but at the same time, it looks like the entire DLC takes place in like flashbacks and stuff during the last phase of one of the Kingdom Hearts. Like it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of new areas, not a lot of new things to see.
Yeah. I feel like I think the DLC is just like data fights, which doesn't mean anything to anyone unless you play that game. But I think it's like new data fights, and there's a new form for Sora, and that's it, I think. I'm not sure. I think it's mostly in-game stuff, though. So, yeah.
It's supposed to connect why the end happens the way it does, and new boss fights and a secret episode at the end. Oh, so it's just one of those like filler DLCs, like just more story of the story that was already kind of there.
Makes sense. Okay.
So you're gonna play it immediately, JP, when it comes out?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know, man. I'm still like bummed out about Kingdom Hearts. Like, it's one of those games where I 100% of it. I enjoyed it. I really liked it. It's great. But man, was it not good. It was not a good. It's just.
Then why did you
I'm
like
the king
it
of
then?
games like that, by the way. That was fun, but it's not a great game.
I don't know. I really enjoy it. It's great, but it just bums me out, man. That's what it is. I didn't not like it. It just bums me out. That's exactly what it is. I just get sad when I think about Kingdom Hearts 3.
It's like hooking up with an ex. Like, yeah, it's fun, but it makes me sad.
It is. Yeah. It's pretty much that. It's pretty much that. So that's Kingdom Hearts 3 into that.
I don't even know if I'm gonna play the DLC.
Yeah. Me either. Unless there's like really relevant story shit in there, which there probably will be some bullshit like.
I'll just wait for Goofy in Kingdom Hearts 4. It's cool.
Yeah.
He'll keep me posted like he did in 3.
Yeah. It's a weird thing.
Gosh, I didn't understand that the biracial components of the last thing of the last two dimensions you went through phased into the relevant. Gosh.
It's true. It's very true. This was great. A perfect one-to-one impression there. I thought Goofy actually joined the call with us and was telling me about Kingdom Hearts 3. That's how good it was. So, well done. We should probably talk about games that we've been playing instead of watching silly trailers, but we might do this more often. I don't know. Co kind of talked about it or asked us to do this a little while back, so we did it. I think it was good. We might do it more often, maybe once a month.
Yeah,
or something
seriously,
like
one of the things that I think would be fun is we just kind of like all three avoid trailers throughout the week.
Sure.
And then anytime we see one we want to see, we can just post it in like our drop frames chat.
Yeah.
And then each drop frames, we can all watch these trailers together. And that way, not only do we see them all for the first time and can comment on them, but then if you haven't seen any of them, well, you know where to come first thing every week to see all the trailers that week.
We'll just have our own mini E3
drop frames trailer time.
Once a month.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Let's start off with, me and Co talked about it last week. Zeke, you finished Control. We could also do spoiler conversation if we want to, since we all finished it. Should we do that? Should we do spoiler time?
I'm down for it.
I'm down, dude.
Okay, spoiler time. Hands going up. Zeke, you finished it. Should we get it out of the way first? How do we feel about the hallway scene? The most controversial hallway scene of Adam Koebel's life, because he's the only one that did like it, I think. You didn't actually give your opinion on it yesterday, Zeke, during Court of Swords, so maybe we start there.
Well, I mean, I sort of did. I mean, there's the funny thing is like two people whose opinions I trust, and they are people that I would say I admire in the gaming industry. One is Rami, and one is Adam Koebel.
Right.
And they both had wildly different opinions on that fucking ashtray maze. Whereas me, I'm just, Joe Blow gamer guy, and I was like, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like it. The visuals in the place were fucking astounding. They were great. Like, I loved how they did the new like opening up of the new areas and the verticality and the like all that shit.
Yeah. How
they handled that and the design of it. It was just fucking fantastic. I think a lot of people, like, if anyone didn't like it, it's probably because of that goddamn song that was in it, which I kind of dug, man. I had no problem with that song. I was wondering why they chose that particular song, and then I thought about it, like, maybe it's because they want it to be like a tonal shift from the rest of the game, because it's supposed to, like, jar, like, it's the headphones are what gets you through.
Yeah.
The main.
You're supposed to, quote, take control, which is exactly what the song is saying.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So the song itself is what helps you get through, and I think that's the reason for the tonal shift. And I liked it. It's kind of like it's like a palate cleanser, like the mini games in the Yakuza series. Like, you get all this fucking awesome, serious dialogue and immersion and story, and then a nice fucking rock and roll metal song comes through and just kind of like, okay, let's have fun for a little bit. We're going to give you lots of sight, lots of sounds. We're going to give you a fucking battle to, like, change up the feeling of the game. And then we'll go back. Don't worry, we'll go back. And they do.
Yeah. All right, don't freak out, because I know, Zeke, you're going to freak out the second I do this. So we're going to make a thing of it and say, don't freak out. Oh, I got to do this again.
Okay.
Get that right there. I'm gonna do
you're going to do a little screen clippy?
Yeah.
But keep the hand up.
Keep the hand up. Perfect.
Why don't you just put, like, some text on the screen that says spoiler talk or something?
Because that's way too easy, and this is more fun. Which is really what it goes down. What about you? What did you think of the hallway scene? How did you feel about that music, most of all, which seems to be the biggest culprit?
The thing for me is that I have a lot of games like Control. I like to live in. I like to get immersed in. I love the environment. I love the feeling of all the crazy stuff going on. I really enjoy when the setting connects with the gameplay, and that connects with me as a gamer. I love that. The problem is that when scenes like that happen with the music and everything, it becomes so obviously structured for effect that for me it breaks a lot of the immersion. And that's kind of what happened for that scene for me. Like, don't get me wrong, it was kind of fun zooming around, and like Zeke said, I loved the actual level, like the sliding stuff and all the crazy movement. Like, that was phenomenal. But I mean, the song, I wasn't a big fan of the song. The timing was just too, like, it said take control, the name of the game, and it was just too campy, man. It was too easy. I feel like there wasn't enough to make it like a cogent gameplay experience. It was just put in the game to elicit a feeling from the player, and it really had nothing to do with the game itself. God, that looks great. So
yeah, it does look great.
So yeah, I mean, like, I thought it was kind of cool, and it was kind of fun and stuff, but it was not by any stretch of the imagination my favorite part of the game. I saw it more of like an Easter egg than what some people are claiming, where it's like, oh, this is so amazing. It's like, it's just a little thing, and like, if anything, it wasn't that. Another thing that was kind of I feel the same way about was the little music video in the hotel with that guy when he is
the dynamite
obviously going crazy, the dynamite thing. I walked out of that. Cat demanded I go back in and watch it. But like, I sat there at the beginning kind of watching a little bit, and I'm just like this is so obvious just to make the gamer be like, oh, what's going on? This is crazy. And like, it has nothing to do with the main, like, I don't know. It's just, again, it's again, I play for immersion for a lot of times. So for a person like me, it's not great. If you're just playing to be entertained, I bet you loved it. Because that's exactly what it was for. It was there to entertain. It was like a music video inside of a game that wasn't about music. So, like, yeah, it's gonna hit different people in different ways. Me, I wasn't a big fan of it, but I completely understand why people were.
Huh. Okay.
So if the ashtray maze was not a standout for you, what was a standout for you? Like, what was and I'm not saying like, overall. I'm saying like section.
The standouts for me were starting to understand and glimpse the world that they had created. Like, even though it wasn't by far one of the most visually interesting parts, I loved visiting the janitor on his vacation. I loved the imagery. I loved the feeling. I loved going into that foundation and seeing it like endless in all directions and being like, where the hell are we? And then he just walks out. Like, I love that stuff. I love the janitor in general. He was kind of funny at the same time. He wasn't like over the top, but at the same time, he was like a very weird and interesting part. I just loved exploring around the place. I love like derelict science things, be it post-apocalyptic or a biolab that's been overrun. Like, one of my favorite things to do in games is to go through an area that used to be a functional research or medical or something and see how it all fell apart. Like
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
love
I agree with that. Yeah.
And that's like this whole game. So yeah, that's what really got me. Just playing this game, it was my favorite part of it. Especially when we got to like the Warehouse 13 style, where it was just like
Here's
artifacts
everything.
behind windows and stuff. I walked up to every one of those windows and I was like, I wonder what that does.
Yeah.
I wonder what that
Oh,
thing does.
see, I wanted to mention that because that was one of my favorite parts in coming up to that point was going, oh, that's the fucking balloon they've been talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
that's that. And then there was like four or five different items that I was like, oh shit, I must have missed some stuff. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. And then later in the game, I'm like, that's the hammer. I just picked up some info there. I'm on. Ha ha.
Yeah.
I got that shit.
That's exactly right.
Quick question, just real quick. The duck was just something you capture and bring back. I was like, it was so anticlimactic. I
It
like
was
got
a
the
little
duck
bit, yeah.
and I was like, it's gonna give me a power. And it's like, nope. And you see it later being contained, and you're just like, oh man.
What was that, Co?
I thought getting the duck gave an achievement.
It did. But so
Oh, did it?
the best part about the duck part for me was I got
hell's
the
this?
duck. This is the mirror. Did you not do the mirror? Oh, the mirror is like one of the best parts. This is the side quest, like self-reflection. It's one of the best parts of one of the best quests I think in the game. I thought it was really good. Maybe we should not show this.
If you didn't do this, you
Yeah,
didn't get the
if
best
that-
outfit either.
Yeah, this is the best outfit as well. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I didn't even see that.
Okay.
That's
Well,
cool.
No,
I'll
this is
change
great.
the. Yeah. I. You should go back and maybe do that.
Anyway, it's good that I saved some content. You know why?
What's that?
Directly from the blog. Moving ahead to 2020, there will be 2 full paid expansions that our team is hard at work creating, the Foundation and AWE. Both of these will offer new story missions, enemies, and game mechanics and take place in new locations within the oldest house. The Foundation will delve into the history of the oldest house. At the request of the ever-mysterious board, Jessie must explore what lies beneath the Bureau as she returns order to the Foundation oldest house itself. Expect things to get weird. The second expansion, AWE, will take Jessie into a new part of the oldest house, the investigation sector, where the Bureau closely examines altered world events.
Yeah, dude.
I'm into it.
I'm down.
I feel like the entire end of the game was basically like, hey, we're gonna do DLC. That's why we didn't end it. So I'm hoping that we get like a proper ending. I don't want to say proper because it was a proper ending, but it's pretty much like my work's not done here. I'm Jesse and I'm the director. Credits. You're like, God damn it. Like, I want to know what really happens. So I'm definitely going to be playing the DLC. To go back to the rubber ducky real quick. Funniest part about that for me is I got that before the embargo was up. And you can't do that because it's kind of late game. I somehow
Yeah.
There's a way you can set up boxes and jump through that
25 fucking minutes doing that.
Yeah.
I was like throwing shit. I was like, because they supply you with so many of those things like, right outside the door.
Yeah.
And you just like, well, that's what they want you to do. Is just like, stack that shit. And I spent so long. And finally, I was able to do it. Probably the same thing you did.
Yeah. You just set up the boxes and do the like dash or whatever to the to the thing. Yeah. It was really ridiculous. Anyways, what were we going to say? Do you remember?
Overall, the game was fucking fantastic. The one thing I wanted more of, because some of the boss fights or whatever boss fights were amazing, well constructed, very fun. I had a blast doing them. They were challenging a lot of times, like the clock fight. You remember that?
Clock. Oh,
or,
is that
or
the
clock or anchor.
Oh, that's the first time you fight. Wait, which one is the
Yeah.
anchor?
So it's the anchor fight when you have to. When you
It's in a big
the
like pit,
thing
and
that
it's like
splits, you have to go to the different platforms.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Like, that was
Like
a
to me
great
a few
fight.
tries, by the way.
I died more than anything in this game to falling death. I never like died to being shot or anything like that. It was literally just falling. I would like start flying and then forget where I was in the room, and I would just slowly start gliding down and then just go, oh fuck. Just keep gliding down.
you can see yourself falling. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh, this isn't gonna end well.
That
There's no ground.
With the clock, with the fridge thing, with the final area, final boss.
Yeah.
It was so much of me just like, all right, I'm gonna fly and shoot oh man, this feels great, flying around shooting. Oh fuck. I'd just be real sad for a little while. That's how it always was. So
Yeah, but I wanted more of those. I wanted more boss fights.
yeah.
They're well constructed. I like the mechanics of them. I like the challenge of them. And they looked very cool. I do want to know, like, I'm sure, because my chat like dubbed it the DLC worm, but that the worm you have to fight a couple times, like
Yeah.
in the astral plane.
Yeah. You only
Like, I
fought
want
him
more of that.
twice, so
Yeah,
I would think you'd have to probably see him again because he was
All boss was fun too.
he was a former member of the board. I think there's like a thing that you find where
he's
revealed that
the
a
former is his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a former member of the board, which is kind of like if he is a former member of the board, who the fuck is on the board, right? Like, what
is the board?
What is the board? Yeah, that's the
Why
DLC
are we
stuff
letting
I
it
want to see.
dictate everything we do?
Yeah,
Like,
it's kind of cool.
That's been the biggest question for me. Like throughout the entire game, it was so clear that the board was kind of the person that was leading everything on. Why does just everyone trust this
Trust
thing they
them.
don't understand? Like
Yeah.
that bugged me in a good way. And I'm kind of hoping the DLCs explore that. Maybe the oldest house thing is going to go all into that. So,
Maybe, yeah.
will be cool. Be cool.
Zeke, you asked the question to Ko earlier. What was the best part of his, or best like moment in the game for him? I'm gonna say that you asked me the same question. It's the conversation with your brother, with Dylan, where
that was really good, right?
man, I was edge of my seat, didn't say anything, and just like extended the conversation as much as possible. It was so well done.
Yeah, I took it all the way. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so fucking well done. And it wasn't even like you didn't really get any big story exposition there. It was just the actor that did it so well and voiced so well that I was just on the edge of my seat wondering what the fuck was going to come out of his crazy mouth next because he said some strange shit and it was so interesting to hear for sure.
And the mocap on it is like the emotion that they were able to capture on the model's face was fantastic, like all the way through the game.
Yes. I agree.
I also really enjoyed oh god, what was his name? The fucking the keeper of the Panopticon.
Langston.
Langston. Yeah. He was funny. I liked him a lot. I thought he was
good people.
He was probably the best NPC. I didn't like the mold doctor NPC. She was my least favorite.
I think that was the point.
Yeah, that probably was the point. Yeah, 100% that was the point. But I didn't.
I think they could have pulled her back a little bit and a little more subtle because she was pretty in your face. It was like, all right, we're gonna make this character mean. We're gonna make her like ungrateful and all that kind of stuff. Go, and they're like, all right, I'm just gonna write the worst shit and they'll pull me back. Oh, they won't pull it back. Okay, so it's just she's just gonna say terribly like just uncaring, ungrateful, like, hey, could you go do this thing for me? About time you got back with it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, that was kind of meh. But yeah, all in all, I still think it's a great fucking game. I'm trying to find that scene with Dylan from your VOD, but for whatever reason, I think the Twitch thumbnails are hiding it. So, oh well, people can just experience it for themselves. It was really good. Yeah.
Definitely, I would. I would grade this game as an A for me.
Oh, okay. So you have a letter. I've done numbers.
I like letters better because if I feel like I give it a D, it's still a passing grade.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You have letters, I have numbers, and Ko just has a likeness scale.
I have recommend.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it like the pain chart at the fucking doctor where it's just faces, like 10 faces, like yay, and then the last one's like
How do you feel? That's right. Now look at this chart and tell me, how do you feel? Which one best indicates how you're feeling right now inside?
I've never heard you do that voice.
For
You're
me,
expanding.
Thank you. I generally do, like, I don't do numbers and I don't do letters, but I tell people if I feel that it's worth it. That's the big thing for me. If I feel like I got value out of the game. So if I think the amount of hours I spent ratioed to the money that I spent, if that number is good enough for the quality in there. And Control for me was definitely, it met all the values. It was a recommend for me. I had a great time with it. I thought the value of the hours was very high. Like the graphics are amazing. The voice acting is really great. The characters are good. The level design is top notch. I love all the lore and interesting things they've done in there. There's obviously so much thought, care, and detail put into this game. They crafted a world. They didn't just make a game. Like, they made this entire world that doesn't exist. Every desk has papers on it. There's billboards with tons of stuff that is never referenced. But if you go up and look at it and zoom in, you can read it, and it's actually part of the game world.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff is so big. So yeah, they did a great job. And I not only do I think it's recommended for the time I spent in it, I easily could have spent another 5+ hours in it, doing all the side quests and clearing it out and doing the alerts and getting all the weapons and getting all the upgrades. Like, if you really like it, it's no question it's worth it.
Yep, I agree.
Like you guys were saying last week, I look forward to every time I picked up a collectible and to read it. Every time I saw someone, I was like, "Oh, let me read this." I wasn't just like Skyrim books. I was like, "Oh, great, another book."
Yeah, it might be one of the first games that's ever happened to me in where I actually like sought out something to fucking read within the game almost every time because they were
that
always
really surprised me when you said that last week, and I was like, "Oh, it must be really good." And you weren't lying; it was really good.
Yeah, I mean,
I was reading like everything letter for letter throughout the entire game until like the last 10%, where I was just like, I need to see what happens. Like, I want to see where this is going.
Man, let me put the spoiler hand back up. It goes, that end is awesome with the fake credits. Because you know, like, the second it happened, I was like, that's not the end. There's no way that that's the end of the game. And then, like, the first thing you see is on, like, that side of the screen in the credits. And I think it says, like, something will die. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then the credits start, like, devolving into the whiteness of you, like, showing up in the office. It was cool. Yeah. It was really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Call in the arm. That was a really cool part.
Yes, it was. It was. The whole end. That part was cool. The part where your brother, that was just kind of like, where's like the big boss fight, right? Like, I want the big boss fight. I don't want to just save my brother. I don't want to fight level 30 mobs or whatever and save my brother.
To be clear, like, I think I speak for many of us when I said I thought the goal of the game was to clear the hiss.
Right.
I was actually a little bit surprised when the main goal was just to clear. We don't even know if we cleared our bro. We don't like it. That's crazy. Like, we don't even know if our entire main quest was successful or not.
Yeah.
And the game ends and it's like, well, nothing's really changed. It's just
I mean, you say they basically say like, yeah, my brother's in a coma, I think is how that resolution occurs. Yeah.
We don't know if he's I think they actually say like, we don't know if he's okay. He's still in a coma, and it's like, oh well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Nah, dog. The point of the game was to get you to accept your role as director, and that oldest house set all this up to get you to do that.
To get you to do that.
Throughout the game, you're like, don't call me director. Don't call me that. Yep. And at the end, I am the director. You're like, fucking oldest house.
Well, she was a prime candidate or whatever. So was her brother, but her brother was the one before. So that makes actually perfect sense if that's the full thing.
She was 7 and he was 6.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make perfect sense if that was the whole thing. So
also, dude, like I wanted so much more information on Polaris. I really hope that addressed more in the DLCs. Like that was, as the big reveals were unraveling with Polaris, I was just like, what? Like what do you mean he's not in there? Like what? Like I was sitting here like I was so excited for that thing to crack open and for there to be some kind of like Independence Day style alien tentacle thing, and I didn't know, just like you found me.
Yeah.
And it's like, here's your superpower. So then it was like, what's going on, man? Like I thought we were gonna. man.
Oh, you found me!
You
Time
found
for a
me!
tea party!
Jabba the Hutt's in there. He's like, oh. That would have been
Oh,
good.
this is you're my kind of hiss.
Yeah. Would have been good. Would have been good. All right, that's enough spoiler talk about Control. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Okay.
Zeke. I'm sure it'll pop back up, at least for me, for Game of the Year stuff.
Oh, hey guys, do us a favor. If we're talking about spoilers, please don't type them in chat. Like, it's cool that we want to discuss that stuff, but there's a lot of people that are muting and pausing the stream for spoilers.
It's true. That's true. We'll give. This is now that the spoiler talk is hands. The done with spoilers is everyone thumbs up. So if everyone
Like Wayne's
thumbs
World.
up, yeah, there we go. There we go. Cole walked away, but I think you can still hear me because we're gonna talk
I'm here.
about
I was opening my
GreedFall.
door. We're good.
Okay,
Oh,
let's talk
yeah.
about GreedFall. I'll let you, Zeke. We played this. We played this game, Zeke. But let's let Ko talk about it first
These are facts.
because we might not have the same opinions about the game. I don't know. I'm curious to see how this goes. You love GreedFall, though, I assume.
I am very much enjoying my 12 hours so far in GreedFall. Yes. GreedFall is 60% Witcher 3, 10% indie, 10% jank, 10% terrible lip syncing, and 10% major combat issues.
Wow, I actually agree with most of everything you're saying. So, yeah. I was expecting this is going to be like a circle jerk on GreedFall, but no, this is very even kill.
The thing is, but again, here's the thing. Now, you say that, but at the same time, 60% of Witcher 3 is still a lot of Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Like there is a lot of really quality stuff in here, some great environments. The skill systems, the attribute skill talent system is interesting. Loving the companions, even though the lip syncing is atrocious, to put it bluntly.
There is no
voice
lip
acting is
syncing.
actually yeah, I know. It's random face movements.
It like,
but it really is.
They're
It's
very
just
like
they
the
do
Godzilla
random
movies
variables.
from the 70s.
No, what's funny is for the first 30 minutes, I legit was telling people, "Oh no, the lip syncing's in French. They're not speaking English." Because I thought that's what it was. It was so
God.
bad that I thought they were talking a different language.
Are spiders French? That's a weird statement to say out loud. But is spiders a French developer?
I think they are French. I'm pretty sure. Someone can help me out in chat. Oh, they're Canadian. Okay,
Oh.
so they could be French.
Okay.
They could speak French.
Okay.
I just like
But,
that at the beginning of the game it said made by spiders. It was like
It's a good dev team name.
Sorry, arachnophobes.
Yeah.
But no, like overall, I am really enjoying it. There's two key points I want to make. There's a lot of gamers out there like myself, the Elix players, the Gothic players, the Two Worlds players, who can find enjoyment in games that are janky. And a lot of those people have been like, "Oh, I liked Elix, so I can probably deal with this game." The thing that I want to let people know is this is definitely on a different level than those. There is enough good stuff. There is enough. There are not enough bugs. There are the world is developed to a big point. Like this is, I wouldn't go as far to call this like a janky game, like I would Elix, Gothic, or those types of games. Outward also arguably had a little bit of jank to it. But I will say though that the issues definitely are there, and unfortunately, I think they are bad enough to people that are looking for that total package kind of thing. May actually pass on it. But again, that being said, like for those that can kind of dive into it and really kind of focus on the good parts of the game, there are a lot of good parts of this game. Like there's some really great RPG stuff to be had in this game.
Yeah.
what class did you go with?
I'm actually playing a mage.
That's what I went with.
Really, me too. Okay.
We're all mages, really? What the fuck? Wait,
I
mage
mage
what?
specifically because I thought you two wouldn't.
I went mage because everyone's playing firearms and melee that I saw.
RPG games, I always go mage first. Like anytime it's a like third person action, Dark Souls, even first person. Like if it's role playing, it's always mage first, and then I'll do like whatever build after that.
You even went mage in Blood. You're the guy that went mage in Bloodborne, so I should have.
I tried. Oh my god! Oh, don't even do that. Don't
Wow,
talk about that.
That's the biggest trigger I've ever seen.
Okay, it still hurts.
Lord.
Years later, it still hurts.
I'm gonna need to remember that one.
Yeah, that's a hell of a trigger right there.
Let's keep that in our back pocket for later.
Good lord.
I haven't pulled my headphone cord out. I couldn't even hear what you guys were saying.
But I will say though, like the mage is a little bit interesting because they let you expend your mana significantly faster than you.
Then you got to
regen it
use a
by default.
potion, Ko. You got to use a potion.
Exactly.
Hey, Ko, use a potion. Use a potion, Co. Did you use a potion?
Looks like you're low on mana.
You gotta
Use
use potion. I heard that so many fucking times, man.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. So much so that I refuse to use potions. I just never used
for
them.
the record, I'm playing Borderlands 3 the next couple days, but my emote artist Julia, we're actually replacing beer with a small blue potion for the next time I go back to GreedFall.
That makes sense, man.
But no, now what's cool is I just got to a stage in the game where I'm starting to get more max mana, so I start the fights more prepared, and then more importantly, I just found a necklace that doubles my mana regen. So what I'm a little bit conflicted on is when you start as a mage, you start with a single point in heavy weapon single. So you can actually equip a heavy weapon as a mage. The problem is every single decent heavy weapon not only requires you to have the heavy weapon skill, but it requires you to have one of the attribute strength. So the problem is, like, I got rid of my starting weapon and then I couldn't find another one for a very long time. So basically most of my fights were, let me expend all my mana and then dodge around while it comes back slowly. Now the good news about this is that I did recently find out that if you play a mage like an EverQuest Enchanter, it actually works a lot better. And I'm actually really starting to dig it. So now what I do is I have a necklace that adds 6 seconds to my stasis skill, which is my mez, essentially.
Yeah.
The first thing I do when I go into a fight is mez, all but one. And what's cool is the game will automatically have your companions, as long as they aren't already doing an attack, they will only focus on the one that isn't mez. So then you can kind of save your mana a little bit, throw in some heavy attacks on the guy that your companions are attacking, and then keep the guy's mez. Now there are diminishing returns, so like an 18-second mez will be like 12 seconds, then 6 seconds. But at the speed of combat, it actually goes it's completely doable. So there were a few fights, for instance, that I tried to brute force, and it was just a nightmare. And then I'd go in and with the little mez technique, and all of a sudden it'd be like, oh, that was easy. But the only downside to this is on extreme difficulty, which is what I'm playing on, there are some mobs which will literally one-shot your companion. They just fall over like wet paper towels.
Yeah.
And so that's a bit of a problem. There's also mobs on extreme.
Oh yeah.
Have poison, and if they hit you a single time, then the rest of your health just goes away until you're dead.
See, Zeke, did you play normal?
No, I played hard.
Okay, I was on normal.
There's easy, normal, hard, and extreme. And I played hard, and it was pretty hard. I don't know the difference between hard and extreme, but I was experiencing the same kind of shit. I liked that it was challenging. I think hard is
Me too.
It's a good challenge. I found it maybe a little bit more difficult with a mage just because of the ranged attacks and the closed in space.
Yeah.
It was tough utilize my mage abilities because you throw spells at people, right? But for the first few battles, you're in this an alley or in a little room and shit like that. So you're just trying to throw shit. It's tough, but I see it opens up a little bit more when you get to the island or whatever you're going to.
Yeah.
But it was fucking hard, and the companions are they're basically 10 seconds of distracting one enemy and then they're dead.
Really? Dude, so on normal, the companions are like I died once, and it was because I got too close to the mobs and didn't let the companions kill it. I'd walk into a fight with 4 or 5 dudes. I'd kill one, the companions would kill the other 4 in the same amount of time. It was actually too easy, I think. So I might recommend people play it on hard, unless you're a masochist and want to play it on extreme like Co. But yeah, normal seemed a little too easy. Only because my companions were so strong. I would expend a normal mana bar, kill one mob, the companions would have killed everything else by that time. So
for anyone listening to us and wondering if they want to buy the game, or more importantly, the negative things, there is one major issue with this game, and that is their leashing system. And it becomes a lot more apparent as you get into these big wooden areas where you have a lot of freedom of movement. But the way that this game works is every enemy encounter basically has a circle or a border around it. And when you engage the enemies, your character sets foot outside of that border, then every single creature loses aggro. Every single creature drops all status effects. So if they were mez, they instantly become unmezed. Yeah. The worst part, every single creature immediately gets full health. It is there are a lot of things in gaming that trigger me. But as a mage,
sure,
when I'm doing really well on a fight and I'm on the second to last or last guy, and I'm trying to like back up so I can get my attack in, and then I set my foot past that line, and all of a sudden this guy that's almost dead is right back to full health and running the other way. That little feeling right there, I almost alt F4'd a couple times.
Yeah.
It is so frustrating, especially on harder fights on Extreme, where it's like you're winning the fight.
Imagine.
Things are going awesome. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, just kidding. And I had it happen once when I was working on multiple mobs at once. So like all of them were low health, and I'd been doing this fight for like a solid 5 minutes, just dodging and bouncing around trying to get it. And then I do one dodge out and they all go full health. And I was just like, I'm just going to go fight.
Yeah, that happened once to me on normal. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like, I could see the literal line of the boundary of this fight. And I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. But it's because it wasn't that much of a, I didn't lose that much time. If I was playing on a harder difficulty, I could see how that would be unbelievably infuriating.
Quick, to address some stuff people are saying in chat, like sounds like most games are MMO these days. That is true. Like all games have problems with leashing systems. And if they don't, then you have games like Skyrim where you can just pull things around rocks and get them stuck, and it's just a mess. That's one of the reasons there are leashing systems most of the time. It's because the pathing systems can't keep up with the environments. So, like, I understand there has to be a leashing system, but there are 1,000 ways, not 1,000. There are many, many ways that spiders could do it better. Like, for instance, not having the health instantly go to full,
right?
And instead making it so it would slowly regen, not dropping status effects. And also, here's the part that's kind of messed up. This leash bug works both ways. For people that want to cheese this game, it is so easy. You go into a fight, you kill one enemy, and you run until they leash.
Oh, it doesn't respawn?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you can just like whittle down every encounter that you want to. It's 100% cheese. So, you know, it's stuff like that. It's kind of like there has to be better ways to do that. I'm really hoping we're going to see a patch or something kind of work on it a little bit. It's just, it's very, very messy, right?
I didn't realize the leashing issue was that the big of a deal.
But again, like with all the negative things we're saying, these are settings. This isn't like, you know, oh, it's a bad game, it's terrible. All of the things we're complaining about could be changed in a single patch. Like it's more like decisions, not technical limitation. So that's an important distinction.
Yeah. You can kind of see it here, and I think it shines more once you get into the wilderness, which is unfortunate because it takes an amount of time, 2 to 3 hours, to get past the tutorial island. But
it took me 8 hours to get out of the first city.
Oh, see, I said fuck all that other shit and just left because I wanted to. I just wanted to see what else was in that game. The city like looked fine, but I had seen outdoor environments in all the trailers, so I just immediately zoomed past it.
8 hours to get out of the first city, not the tutorial. The tutorial city.
Okay.
Tutorial city took me 4 hours.
Okay.
And then I went to the first city, and it's more of a little outpost.
Sure.
And that also took me 4 hours. And then I actually like started the game.
Yeah. No, I immediately went outside because I remember seeing the trailers. I think the outdoor environments in this game are like some of the prettiest outdoor environments in this type of game I've seen in a very long time. There's a couple like coastal shots that are fucking breathtaking. I was surprised to see
Holy City, the Magic City. I went there today and had I stopped moving.
I didn't see that.
At one point, when you get to the Holy City, you start walking towards the docks, and it's like they have probably 4 or 5 fully rigged ships, like this giant, gorgeous lighthouse, people everywhere, stalls and stuff. And I just turned on walk mode. Thank you, Spiders, for putting in walk mode. By the way, one of the first things I look for in RPGs. I turned on RP walk mode and just started walking forward, and it is gorgeous. Oh, this is you're getting close to it.
Great.
This is in front, like that's the big city, and the dock is at the back of that city. You can see the lighthouse in the top right there.
Yeah. Wow.
This is, by the way, one of the 3 major cities in the game, and it is large, and it's a lot of fun to explore.
Yeah. Huh. It is a very pretty game. That was the biggest takeaway I had from all that. The other thing is all the dialogue that I saw was voiced. Does that continue? Okay.
All the dialogue is voiced, and even the side NPCs, like the people in town, if you walk up and eat to them, they all have like little voice quips and stuff too.
There is a little bit of repeat voice actors, but
we found a deliciously sexy voice act, like please read my bedtime stories every night voice actor in this city. In fact, he's a little bit further along, but he's the old guy, the old Spanish Inquisition looking guy, and oh Lord, my lord, sex in voice form. It's amazing.
Okay. I did not encounter that gentleman.
What was his name again, guys? Steven something. I want to say his. He was in Witcher 3. He was I want to say Eladin from or Eridan from Witcher 3. Stephen Harding. I want to say Hartley. I don't know.
Matthew Mercer.
He's really good. He's got one of those
Matt
really
Mercer. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pronounced Matt Mercer. Zeke, what about you? Do you kind of echo everything we've been saying for the most part about GreedFall?
guns.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I didn't get much time with it, so I didn't like. This is one of those. It's an RPG. It's a third person RPG game. So like right off the jump, or right off the top at the jump of the game, you're gonna have to go through exposition.
Right.
So the first couple hours, like I mean, unless you don't care about that stuff, which I do. Some people are just like, okay, blah, talking, blah, blah, blah. Give me action, which you can totally do. But I want like the story of the game. So it took me like the first 3.5 hours were me like going around doing quests, talking to people and stuff like that, figuring shit out, realizing like how difficult the setting was. Because I died several times to most of the battles until I kind of figured out what I wanted, like how to play it with my particular style. I did play it with a controller, which is totally viable.
How did you like the camera with the controller?
It wasn't that bad. It's third person. There's a camera boss with third person always. It's like there were times when I would get in a corner and all I would see is like this like top down view of like of like two bad guys just stabbing the shit out of me, but I couldn't see myself. You can just see their like the tops of their heads and their arms going back and like fucking stabbing me in the corner. So the third person camera is like something we're used to. Like if you play any third person games, it's just gonna happen. It's like impossible to avoid. But I didn't think it was any worse than any other game. As far as like how jank it was, I mean, like it wasn't that bad. Like I maybe I'm more forgiving than most people, and because I played more atrocious games that I could forgive because they had a good story or good something or other. But it didn't bother me that much. The voice act or the facial animation was, noticeable, obviously. But I if it's voice acted, if it's voice acted well, I can forgive a little bit of that. Like people brought up Andromeda while I was playing it, and I was like, I could forgive that. I'll forgive this too. Like it didn't bother me if voice acting is good. So
yeah.
And the voice acting was buttery good. The combat was a little like I felt a little confined doing a mage. I felt like they geared it more towards like melee combat to start with, but it looks like it opens up later, so maybe gets better.
It feels like you eventually will want to kind of have a jack of all trades character. I don't know how far Ko got into the tree, but everyone, I felt like in all the encounters, you're supposed to kind of be able to do a little bit of everything. Like one melee weapon, have a gun, and use mage stuff.
So for me, I'm actually going pure mage. So I only use magic. That's it. And so basically, my character right now, I went all the stasis route. So he's got the best mezzing. I got the heal, and I got the crotch shot. And that's really good. And now I'm working towards the AoE mez, which is the big mage skill that essentially lets you mez every single person around you for 20 seconds. It's going to be incredible. Also, by the way, we need to talk about this. So there is a mage buff that gives you it gives you armor, it gives you some armor regen and other stuff. However, when you do the action to do it, your character puts his hands forward, pushes his groin forward.
Oh yeah.
And a bolt of lightning comes down and anoints his wang. I did it 5 times with my jaw open, just like, are you kidding? Like he literally
point of order, Your Honor.
We need proof of this.
Point of order, Your Honor. You can do that. You can play as a female character as well. There is character creation at the beginning of the game.
However,
you can have a little pussy power as well if you want.
No one actually calls you her or uses any female pronouns. You still get called he and lord and everything like that. And I noticed
Oh, did
that
they-
right. Yeah.
I thought they shepherded it. Like
No.
they did the.
Hold on.
They just
Isn't
call
that a
you.
nobility thing back in the day?
Well, I don't know if
Maybe
calling a
you're not-
girl he, it was a, maybe the Lord thing, maybe. I just know that there were multiple times where it was like, they were talking to me and it's like, well, how does he feel about it? And they go to my character and a female would respond and I was kind of, what the fuck? But I assume
you
that
went
was
with
just, yeah. I played
you went
female
with
character.
too.
Yeah. I make, anyways, I make Aaron in any game that I can make a character creation. That's what I did. Except Aaron was bald in this game because I think the character creation looks
Griffin
bad.
says you actually get called my lady or her.
I didn't
My
get
cat
that,
said.
at least in
Oh,
some
okay,
of
maybe
the
not.
dialogue scenes. Maybe it wasn't like maybe it was a side dialogue scene or something like
the
that.
text would say it, but the voiceover would not. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, that might have been it.
I honestly didn't notice. I was just listening and it, whatever.
To be fair, there's a lot of like translation issues in the game. Like when you go to sell an item, it says sale, SAEL, but in the bottom left-hand corner, it says SELL. They spell merchandise like 6 different ways in about a minute. A couple of the subtitles. There's just kind of things that are not necessarily properly translated.
All right, JP.
So
DF chat.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, are these
yeah,
the
there we
clips? God, that was really official and like important sounding. I was like, oh God, what's happening? Is he about to just leave?
Yeah.
Let
Did someone shoot a governor or something? Or
Yeah.
what the fuck is going
I don't know what's happening. Let's see here. Okay. Here we go. You're not lying. What?
Oh! And the best part is if you
Oh.
circle around, like the actual contact point is in the middle of your belt buckle. Like it actually goes all the way down your character and it stops right at your belt buckle.
Huh. I wonder if that's the same for the female character.
Wait, I don't understand. Like, isn't that what happened when you guys climax? Like, isn't like
yeah, that's the lightning.
Lightning doesn't shoot out your. Okay,
See,
never mind then.
dude, that's
I guess
ridiculous.
I'm weird.
Everyone knows it's rainbows and unicorns. Like,
Oh,
nice
right,
try.
right.
But, come on, man.
True. Weird. That's interesting animation. Okay.
It's great, dude. And another now going back to actual mechanics. This is actually kind of interesting. So it stacks duration. I've noticed a lot of buffs stack duration in this game. So if it's a 20-second buff, you can sit there and spam it like 5 times, and every time the cast goes off, it adds 20 seconds to the duration. So what you can do is normally 20 seconds is not that long in a fight, but you can use it like 5 times right before a hard fight, immediately pop a mana pot, and then go in with a buff that's going to last the whole fight.
Oh, so apparently people are saying it's a Critical Role reference.
Apparently, I think that's fanboyism coming through. I don't think that's a Critical Role reference.
I don't think it's
They're
a Critical
they're
Role.
thinking
Like
that it's
lightning hitting
Scanlan.
someone's dong or something.
There's a character, or there's a player named Scanlan who does that a lot on his Bard, like as a way to cast spells. And
Again,
I think
there's
it's
like 5 spells in this
Yeah.
entire game. I think making one of them an Easter egg might be a little bit much.
yeah. I agree.
Also, it's very like I'm 90% sure it's not supposed to do that. Like I think the lightning is bugged. I don't think it's going to the right place or something. It looks so ridiculous. Like when you're trying to do it seriously. So
yeah.
pretty sure it's not working as intended.
Also, before the fanboys get really angry, the player's name is Sam Riegel. The character's name is Scanlan. I think. I don't know. Don't stop. Just stop, fanboys.
Don't fucking at
calm
me.
down.
Yeah, don't
Don't
fucking
fucking
at me.
at
dude.
me. Jesus Christ.
Do you guys even watch Critical
Make
Role?
sure
Like,
to just
frankly,
add
I don't have the time to review.
Twitter.com/CoCarnage for all dropped frames inquiries. Okay.
Oh, sweet
Any-
Jesus! Please don't do that.
Just deal with that shit.
I mean, how mad would you be, JP, if someone came up and called you Maharib? Hey, Maharib.
How mad would I be?
That? Yeah.
Not mad
like
at all.
none mad.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
not mad at all. Yeah.
So fuck y'all.
JP's like, I punched him in the face.
Yeah. I'd straight up murder that guy right where he stands.
I'd rip their
That's why I
spine out
carry
and
this
show it to
knife.
him.
Yeah. Jesus. Well, cool. Maybe on harder difficulties. That's how I'll phrase this question. How often did you guys use the pause system? I never used it once. Did you use it a lot, Z?
I tried to use it a little bit, but the game moves really fast for you to use it. I found like I would pause, like pick an action, and not notice that an enemy was in the middle of another action. So I would like my spells got interrupted all the fucking time.
Sure.
And that was the tough part. And the thing that I learned is like you're not a mage so much as you're like, well, you're a mage, but you're like action mage, where you're like you have to block and dodge, and then like throw a couple of cheap spells in there, and then like dodge and block again. It's like you can't just stand back and like let your, you know, the guy who's your companion who should be the fucking swordsman, like he teaches other people how to do that. He has fucking armor on. You think he'd like tank for you, but he's like, oh, I've fallen. I guess like again, man, what are you made out of? Jesus Christ, get up. Don't tell me to drink a potion. I'm gonna fucking waffle stop your ass.
Meanwhile, he's on the ground going, oh my God, the
Yeah. That's
yeah, I mean, you get used to that real quick.
Shit, man. God damn. That's
I tried
so annoying.
Try to do the pause menu thing, because you can do like a pause, pick an action, and have them do it, but like half the time you don't see like an attack coming, or they're in the middle of an animation, it doesn't look like it or whatever. So it just becomes like it doesn't become useful. I never found it to be something that I could do successfully on a repeated basis.
Yeah.
Also, I kind of dig how they made guns like super fucking lethal.
They're very strong.
I got shot with a rifle, 3/4 of your health is just like gone. I'm like, oh, rightly so, but god damn.
Yeah.
On extreme, if you're fighting a red skull enemy, it instant kills you. Red skull means that it's too hard for you. And the worst part about guns is when an enemy is loading a gun, which to be fair takes time. Like it's 4 seconds. Like they take their gun out and they like pull the thing back and they put stuff in it. It's not like they're like and the worst part is you'll hear like a little click if you listen. You'll hear like, you know, when he's putting his stuff in. But if they're off the screen, that's all you get.
Oh.
So you don't know if they're shooting at you. You don't know if they're like when it's gonna happen. And like you can block with that blue shield you see Zeke using.
The right
you can
click,
block
yeah.
bullets with that shield. But again, they will shoot you off screen with no visual indicator that they're doing so.
That's
and it is brutal.
and you
And
get-
in the clip we played earlier, I was fighting guys over here, and then you see me just look to the right, and there's a dude just aiming a gun at me.
You get one tap, dude.
And I just instantly die.
Yeah.
So
You
yeah,
get
it's fun.
Very minor like audio cue. You get a, and then boom, you're done.
Yep.
It doesn't. It's
That's
like
right.
very like maybe 1 second.
Yeah.
It's just like a little click and a hiss, and then shot.
Yeah.
Kind of cool about guns.
It reloads so fast.
They strongly reduce the ammo in the game through playtesting. I actually read about this. So if you just go through the main story, then you will find yourself like constantly running out of ammo as a main gun person. But if you explore around and buy from vendors and stuff, then you can keep your stores up.
So I'm curious, because you probably did a lot of side quests, and Zeke, you maybe did as well. When I got to the first like natives village or whatever with the chieftain or whatever, there was a vendor there that had like a purple item that was 700 or 800 gold. I had like 100. Do you get a lot of money through side quest?
Yes, you get a lot of money
Okay.
through side questing, and you get a lot of money through looting. So when you go around and loot all the containers, especially like the lock picking containers, some of those sell for like 40 to 50 a piece. I am I haven't even been to the native city yet, and I have over 2,000 gold.
Do yourself a fucking favor at the beginning of the game, like put one in lockpicking. Put 1 point in lockpicking, like
No,
right out
do
the top.
not do that.
Oh, what?
Absolutely don't do that. That is the worst
Why?
thing you can do, and let me tell you why. At the very start of the game, you get a companion named Kurt. Kurt wears a breastplate that adds +1 to lockpicking. If you put a point in lockpicking, then you miss all the science stuff in the tutorial. Technique, start the game, get to Kurt, take his breastplate off, put it on you for the 1 lockpick, put 1 point in science in yourself, and you can get every single thing on the tutorial island.
Boom.
Who's fucking Kurt?
Your
first
companion. The guy
Your
with the
tank bro.
two-handed sword, yeah.
You actually take his breastplate off because his breastplate has a utility on it that adds 1 to lockpicking. So if you put that on you technically have 1 lockpick.
Why the fuck does he need it? He's not picking any locks. What the fuck? I didn't even look at his equipment because I'm a mage. It's not gonna fit me.
Yeah.
What is this bullshit?
There's
yeah.
no
No, it's
requirements for
cool.
gear, right? You can just put on whatever
Yes.
you want. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
No.
No, this is kind of interesting. So whenever you get
gear.
gear
Armor?
has upgrades. Yes, the gear has 3 slots for upgrades, most pieces, and you need to get craftsmanship to upgrade those normally. But you can also go to a special NPC called a blacksmith, and if you upgrade through a blacksmith, then you don't need the skills to put it on, and you need less requirements.
Sorry, we're laughing because
Blacksmith?
a blacksmith. What do you mean?
I have never because you said it was like a special NPC called a blacksmith, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh no! I meant you go to the
come on, bro.
special NPC that is a blacksmith. That is not the store. It's only stores and
Okay.
blacksmiths.
Sure.
You
Okay.
go to the. Yeah, you can't do this at the store. You can only do it at the blacksmith.
I get you.
He's also a store,
Yeah.
so it just gets more confusing.
Okay. I
But
see
yeah,
what
you
you're
have
saying.
you have to do the upgrade stuff through him, and he will give you more bonuses and enhancements.
Ah, okay. Did not realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have to go
Yeah,
now. There's only a few of them, but then you go to the wait. I just came up with a name for it. The quest giver, and they will give you instructions on what to do next in your adventure.
Ah, I see how that works. I see how that process works. Okay. Makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Makes a lot
Usually
of
they
sense.
have a small thing above their head. We call that an icon.
Ah, gotcha.
Icon. Okay.
You should trademark that. You might be able
I
to,
should.
yeah, make some money from that. So yeah, that's control, I think. Or not? No, it's not control. My brain is still in the world of Remedy. Wow.
Okay, so wait, GreedFall is this a full price game, isn't it?
It's $50.
50
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, full
on
price
Steam.
for most people is 50 or higher, right? Would that be considered like full price game?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is so weird. It's like full price game, $50, which is I was like $50. How dare you? This better be a fucking awesome game. When back when that's all you could pay for a game for a new game. Like no matter how good or bad, it was always like full price.
Yeah.
But now with all the like all the options, it's like $15 is probably about like 15 to 20 is about the average I pay for any given game.
Yep.
But I would say like it strikes me as an RPG that has tons of hours. Like
Seems like there's a lot of game.
Oh,
I didn't
not
even see
only are there
the whole
tons of
map.
hours.
Is the map big?
It's very
The
big.
map is large. It's very large.
Okay.
Enemies and containers respawn over time. The level limit allows you to get every single perk, attribute, and skill if you want to take it that far. It's apparently level 90-ish, but you apparently complete the game around 45-ish if you want. So there is a lot in here for people that want to do it. I'm actually if I have enough time and everything, which I hope I do, I want to see if I can get my mage like fully maged out and then like turn him into like a warrior mage. Like see how far we can go with that. So that could be cool.
One
Very
last
cool.
thing. Something that really has to be solid and good in games like this is the story. And I didn't get a chance to uncover a lot of it because, I was doing tutorial stuff. They give you a little bit of this and that. When you get to like the main island part or whatever, because I never got there, does the story kind of open up and get more involved, like more like tendrils, like storylines?
I think
Going
so,
from place to place,
but
or-
Co played further than I did, so he's better equipped to answer
I've
this.
been not doing a huge amount of main story stuff, but I can tell you that the main story is definitely gets a lot more interesting when you get to the main island, because then it introduces the native faction and kind of the stuff they're going on with. And I will say when I got to the main city, like right when you get there, a pretty iconic, disturbing event happens, and like your character's just standing there having to deal with it, and like it starts getting definitely more. You start seeing where the story is going.
Oh, see, I never saw that.
Also, there's a particular side quest you can do in the tutorial area for these 2 heretics. And if you do that side quest, you actually get some information that I think is going to be very important to the rest of the story later.
Okay.
Which is so yeah. The short answer is, I haven't played it too long, but it sounds interesting. However, there are a lot of reviews that are saying that as you get further into the story, the spacing between major things starts getting to be an issue, and it starts getting a bit lost. Now, I don't know what they mean by that, but I have seen multiple reviews mention that. So I don't know, maybe if the story is like too big for its britches kind of thing, which can sometimes happens in MMOs where like they're just too much is going on and nothing really makes, a huge impact. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. Everything I've done so far has been pretty damn good. And the event I just got up to in the Mage City was definitely the first time I was like, holy shit, this is getting real. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that is GreedFall, not Control. $50.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said MMO. You know what I mean? RPG.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of people join the stream saying like, is this an MMO? What is this? So I can see why you'd make that.
Oh, just a yes or no question, Co. Did you get to any boss type fight?
Yes. I found a boss
Okay,
I couldn't beat.
Really?
Okay.
I got to a boss where my main attack was taking off about a fifth of his 100 squares or so.
Was it?
I
Dude,
like
he
that.
had an AoE ground attack, he had a leap attack, he had a charge, he had a swing. It was a giant Trent kind of creature. And I fought it for about 3 minutes, kind of dodging around and doing stuff. I was just like, dude, if I'm going to beat this boss, I'm going to be... the successful fight will be a 30-minute fight. So I was like, I'm coming back later.
Zeke,
like,
you didn't
I
get
need to
off
wait.
Tutorial Island, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I don't think this is a spoiler. If it is, condemn me. There's a boss at the end of the Tutorial Island that you run into. So,
I figured.
Yeah.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
Fun fight too. A good little introductory fight.
On normal, it was not. I circle strafed and hit mouse, and he died. So.
Well, I mean, I did that a little bit longer on extreme, but again, it's like in many cases, if you're maining the game, it's like your third or fourth combat situation. So I don't think they were wanting to like overwhelm too many people. Also, not really spoilery again, but they do make a point at the end of that encounter to be like, that was a strongly weakened creature. Like he was sedated and locked in the hold of a ship, and he has not been fed for weeks. And like they basically make it clear that was he. In fact, I think your main character says he was already dead. I just helped him along the way or something.
Yeah.
So
Don't go thinking you're all big and bad. You're not.
basically, the game was kind of being like, don't worry, it's gonna get harder.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta pee. Let's go. Break time. Let's go.
Well, you're the one that was talking. You can't. No, now we're staying around. Let's talk
I
about
said
the
yes
next
or
time.
no. I said, no, give me a yes or no. And you guys decided to talk some more. Fucking, I'm going.
This guy's such a prima donna. Why do we? I don't understand.
I've known Zeke now 4 years, and he tells me to say yes or no. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What is
he thinking?
Come on, dude.
What is he thinking? Anyways, I guess we'll take a break since his lordship Zeke demands it. Yes. We'll be right back. Maybe if Zeke decides the show should continue.
If our Lord dictates it worthy to return, he shall.
Yeah. Someone go get him out of his trailer. We'll be right back with more Drop Frames right after this.